The United States of America isn't as united as its name suggests. With so many strong opinions and powerful positions, it's a wonder we haven't seen a civil war yet. But now, trouble is brewing down at the Texas border, and it's got everyone holding their breath. The tension between the Biden administration and Texas is heating up fast, and it's got people worried. Will this disagreement escalate into something even bigger? Join us as we dive into this gripping story and uncover what's really going on at the Texas border. The United States of America is in danger from within. Some people, both from other countries and inside America, want a civil war to happen and make the country fall apart. They might get what they want soon because one of the biggest and strongest states is openly going against the federal government. The big issue causing this conflict is immigration. Texas, a state with a long border next to Mexico, doesn't agree with how the Biden administration is dealing with lots of people coming into the country illegally. Texas says the federal government isn't doing enough to keep the border safe and stop illegal immigration. They say it's causing problems like crime, drugs, and human trafficking in their state. So, Texas is doing things on its own to try and stop migrants from coming in. A big part of this argument is about a park called Shelby Park near the border with Mexico in a city called Eagle Pass. This park has become a busy spot for migrants who want to get into the U.S. by crossing the Rio Grande, the river that divides the two countries. Texas has said no to letting Border Patrol agents in. These agents are federal police who are supposed to watch the border and catch migrants. Texas's governor, Greg Abbott, who is a Republican, has been loud and strong in saying he doesn't like what the Biden administration is doing about immigration. He said Texas won't let Border Patrol agents into the park anymore. He also said Texas will keep doing its own things to make sure the border is safe. He's also started some strong and controversial plans. One of them is putting up barriers in the Rio Grande to stop migrants from crossing. Another is making a new law that lets state and local police arrest migrants for coming in illegally. Shelby Park is a beautiful and calm place in Eagle Pass, a city on the border of Texas and Mexico. The park covers about 50 acres of land that goes right up to the edge of the Rio Grande, the river that divides the two countries. It's also a great spot to see a rare event, a total solar eclipse happening in April, visible only in a small part of North America. The city has a big event planned at the park to celebrate this. But the park has also become a place of argument and trouble. Texas and the U.S. government are fighting over who controls and who can go into the park. In January, Texas officials took control of the park as part of a big plan called Operation Lone Star. This plan aims to stop illegal immigration and make the border safe. They put up a fence around the park and stopped anyone from going in, even the Border Patrol agents who are supposed to watch the border and catch migrants. The mayor of Eagle Pass didn't know about this and was really surprised and angry. He didn't understand why Texas did this, especially since fewer people were crossing the border because of the cold weather and more police from both the U.S. and Mexico. The U.S. government wasn't happy either. They were worried when Texas didn't follow their rules. Soon after the fence was up, the Justice Department asked the U.S. Supreme Court to tell Texas to let the Border Patrol agents into the park. They said the park was important for national border security, and the agents needed to be there to watch the river and use boats. Texas Governor Greg Abbott didn't back down from the challenge posed by the federal government. He stood by his state's decision to limit access to the park, expressing frustration and anger about the border situation. Abbott blamed the federal government for being ineffective and irresponsible, allowing migrants to enter illegally through Eagle Pass and then transporting them to other states by buses. He promised to keep working to protect the border and Texas from illegal immigration. The conflict between Texas and the U.S. government over Shelby Park intensified on January 13th when 3 migrants drowned in the Rio Grande near the border. This led to a heated argument between the two sides, with each blaming the other for the migrants' deaths and the failure to prevent it. U.S. Representative Henry Cuellar, a Democrat from the Texas border district, including Eagle Pass, criticized Texas for blocking Border Patrol agents from Shelby Park. He said Texas's actions were irresponsible and dangerous, putting migrants and agents at risk. The Texas Military Department, which runs the state's border operation, disagreed with what the U.S. representative representative said. They denied the claims that Texas stopped Border Patrol agents from saving the migrants. They said it wasn't true because Border Patrol agents told them that Mexican authorities had already found 2 of the bodies when they asked to come into the park. They also said Border Patrol agents only wanted to go into the park to chase 2 other migrants who they thought were with the victims. On Monday, January 15th, the Justice Department sent a document to the Supreme Court. They argued that Texas was lying and hiding its part in the drownings. They said Border Patrol agents could have helped the Mexican authorities find the bodies and stop more accidents if they could have gone into the park. They also said Texas was breaking federal laws and the Constitution by getting involved with border security and immigration. On Wednesday, January 17th, Texas fought back against the U.S. government and disagreed with its version of what happened with the drownings. Texas also questioned the U.S. government's right to control the border and the park. They said Border Patrol agents left the area more than 2 months ago and didn't do enough to protect the border and the park from illegal activities. Texas said it was doing what it needed to protect the border and the state from illegal immigration. President Joe Biden, a Democrat, criticized the Texas governor's actions, calling them against the law and the Constitution. He said only the federal government can decide about immigration and border security, and Texas is getting in the way. Biden also tried to stop the Texas governor's plans using legal and official ways. Now, nearly all Republican governors in the country have signed a statement showing their support for Texas Governor Greg Abbott and his actions to secure the border and go against the federal government. The statement, released on Thursday, January 25th, on the Republican Governors Association website, criticized the Biden administration for not fulfilling its duties to the states and the nation. It said Texas had the right and duty to protect itself and its borders from illegal immigration. The statement praised Texas for using different methods, like razor wire fences, to stop migrants from crossing the border. 25 Republican governors signed it, representing most states in the country. They said, "We support Governor Greg Abbott and Texas in using every method, including razor wire fences, to secure the border because the Biden administration isn't doing its job." The next day, the White House responded during a press briefing. The White House press secretary, Karine Jean-Pierre, criticized the governor's statement, saying it wasn't helpful. She said the governors should work with Congress to fix the border and immigration system. She said if they really want to help with the border and immigration, they should talk to their congressional members and senators to get resources and solutions for their states. Meanwhile, former President Donald Trump praised the Texas governor for standing up to the Biden administration over border control. The state of Texas is refusing to let the Biden administration come in and take away the razor wire installed in a busy area where migrants cross into the U.S. illegally. This is part of a bigger fight over immigration between the two sides. In a speech mainly about border security, Trump said Texas should get full support in stopping migrants at the U.S.-Mexico border. Texas is limiting the access of U.S. border control after the Supreme Court said the federal agents could remove the sharp metal fence. Trump said, "When I'm president, instead of trying to stop Texas, I'll send them help." He spoke to a crowd in Las Vegas, where he held a rally on an indoor soccer field in a neighborhood with many Latinos. He said, "Instead of fighting border states, I'll use all the resources, tools, and power of the U.S. president to protect the United States from this invasion happening now." What are your thoughts on this? Let us know in the comments section.